So now that you've been doing, Home Assistant for at least 6 years now, what are some of, like, if someone was starting Home Assistant today and you've obviously had a 6-year journey, what would be some advice you would give to someone starting Home Assistant today to watch out for or to do the right way?
I guess the primary thing, like my assumption is that when someone's getting into Home Assistant is that they already have something, smart bulb, smart lights, like that they have something that they want to control, that they're not starting, I'm going to use Home Assistant and then buying the things for it, which I actually did have a friend do. You guys should have him on. He has a good microphone. Uh, but um, but I think typically it's the other way, right? And so my first question would just be like, do a quick, and it's so easy now, like the forums come up. Google is bad at everything, but it's still good for this, right? Like type in the platform that your device runs on, Home Assistant, and like read the top three forum posts of the top three results. And just get a sense of like, is this fine or not? Um, because some things still aren't, right? Like there's just some things that either can't or haven't been built in as sort of plug and play integrations. And um, I think that's where the real friction still lies, is for someone who has an existing device and wants an integration and doesn't have the technical background and the patience and the whatever else to fight their way through it for something there. Um, but that if, like I say, for my friend Ben, like he bought his house, right? Like they purchased their house and he was like, I want to get some smart home stuff now that this is going. Like, what should I do? And a friend
Yeah.
of mine and I both use Home Assistant, sort of were helping him out. And so he actually did the reverse, right? He started at,
Mm.
I'm going to use Home Assistant, and then went to, okay, which bulbs should I get? Which lock should I like? And picked kind of, and the page, I can't remember what it's called, but there's like that Home Assistant, like usage stats page that shows you
Yeah.
which things are
Yeah.
used. And that is the best resource if you're doing it that way, because you can just very quickly see that, 60,000 or 400,000 people or whatever are using this thing and have a good sense that it's going to just work.
Yeah.
um, and so that's a really useful way to go. Um, but yeah, no, I think it's really just easy. Like it's just easy now.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
much more user friendly, right?
It's
Like,
just easy.
It's cool because if you think about it, that's actually a really good way to start, right? You start with the platform and then build around it. Because again, you care about support, you care about all the stuff. And I, again, with Home Assistant being free, it's a pretty low barrier to entry. I mean,
Hmm.
you might need a little bit of, I mean, for it to be truly free, you might need a little bit of expertise just to say, hey, how can I get it installed on a Raspberry Pi or whatever, right? But
Yeah, but
other than
I
that,
mean,
or
most people know how an SD card works, right? Like installing it on a
yeah,
Raspberry Pi is, and like the hurdle that I've had, I do have a friend who doesn't pay for the
yeah,
Nabucasa service. And
yeah,
so we've set up like duck DNS and whatever so that
yeah.
she can get into it from work. And like then, her IP changes, like her ISP changes her IP
yeah,
address and it
yeah, yeah,
breaks and that's clumsy and kind of bad.
yeah,
But, it's just where she's at financially. It makes sense for her to phone me when her home assistant
yeah,
breaks and
yeah, 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 yeah.
and and we work through it and it's okay. But but yeah, like if you can just throw I don't know what it is a month now. I haven't looked at my receipt in a long time, but if you can just throw money at Nabukasa, I mean, I feel good about that. It feels like it goes to a good cause and it just takes care of all of my problems are just taken
Yep.
care of. I don't
Yeah.
have to think about any of it. I don't think like you're like, where are your backups stored? I'm like, I don't know. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
just
yeah.
I have no idea. It just works.
Absolutely. Well, even connecting into your Amazon Echo or Google Home, whatever, all that stuff. I think it's a little easier with Google Home, but with Amazon Echo, it's kind of a pain to manually do it, right? So,
Yeah, I never did. I went to Nabukasa before. Like I never connected my Google Home or like any of that stuff until after I had set up my Nabukasa subscription. So, because I just, as soon as anyone says the words DNS, I just go, who can I give money to not have to
Let's
understand
deal
this
with that.
problem?
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's funny because I had just gotten it all set up and stuff, and then, at the time, like, this is before Nabukasa became a thing, Paulus reached out to Phil and I, and he was like, "Hey, here's this thing we're working on, we'd like to give you early access, whatever." And, like, at the time, it wasn't like a nabu.casa, like, domain, it was, like, some random, like, AWS service,
Yeah,
right? And,
Azure websites dot app dot net. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, right? And so we're like, "Okay, cool, let's play with it, whatever." And I was like, well, I had just, like, literally, like, 2 weeks prior to that, I think, I had just gotten all my Echoes set up, and I was like, "Well, that was a waste." So but
Even thinking about like the last time we talked and the time that I had put in, like even getting that PS4 integration, like just getting
yeah,
everything set up, and like maybe I should have just waited a couple years. It would have just been
Yeah.
very easy.
Yeah.
Um, but no, it's been really cool to sort of watch the platform change and grow, and do you have Charlie? Like I did a session with I can't remember their name, the UX researcher was doing sessions with users about dashboards and stuff a while ago. And I did one of those. And as part of that, I checked in with Charlie and was like, how do you feel like this has gone? Because, like, I know how I feel about it, but I'm kind of in software all day and he's, usually under a truck somewhere. So, um, has a different perspective. And it's nice to have his perspective on things. And it's just, like I say, it's just so clear that it's like, I don't think he has the motivation. Like, I don't know what the like killer product would be for him. In fact, no, I do. I think if he knew and had like the money and time to put into like Christmas decoration automation, like I think that would be the way in to like get him really excited about it. But aside from the fact that I think he just doesn't like, I don't know that he'd take the initiative to do it. It certainly is like I say, even when troubleshooting stuff and whatever, it all feels well within his skill set now. Like it's never got anything to do with YAML, and it's all very drag and drop, and it's just easy.